Hello, my beautiful friends. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new around here, I'm Shayla, and I'm really happy that you're joining me today. If you couldn't tell from the title of this video, today I'm sharing all of the details about my pretty recent fitness transformation and also answering some of your questions that you sent through on Instagram. Before I get into this video, I want to just say there's nothing wrong with the way that I looked before in my before photo. I know it might be a little controversial, but I'm not gonna lie. The way that I looked did have a little bit to do with my fitness transformation, but I think it was deeply rooted in the fact that I was not treating my body very well and I wasn't committing to the things that make me feel really good. So while there's nothing wrong with the way that I looked before, my issue was with the way that I felt. The way that I physically felt in my body, the way that I felt when I looked in the mirror, and the way that I felt every time that I did something that was disrespectful to my body. So my fitness journey didn't just start in January of 2019 or in October of 2019. I've always been into health and fitness for as long as I can remember. I can remember even being in high school and being really into running and setting challenges for myself and working out. And I've always been extremely athletic. I was a dancer for 12 years. Growing up, I've always had a really slender body. I got made fun of at school because I was super skinny and super lanky, and it really started to, I think, affect my body image from a young age. This video is not about that, so I'm not going to get into that, but if you're interested in learning more about that, just leave me a comment below and let me know, and I would be happy to do a whole video about body image. But that is important to mention because I think once I hit my 20s and my body started to change, I didn't really know what to do with it. I was like, what are these curves? I only share this and mention this because when my body started to change and I felt a little bit bigger than I was used to, my brain was like, oh no, this isn't, no, this is not okay. And I think that that is really what triggered these small spurts of 12-week challenges and crash diets and juice cleanses. And I was on this mission to be skinny, which was what my body had been my whole life, really. No matter what I did growing up, no matter how much I ate, I always stayed really thin. And I'm not sharing that to be insensitive to people with different body types, but that's just my reality. And I think that it really did me a disservice because my view on fitness and getting in shape was to be skinny. And I'm gonna get into that in a little bit because that is a major mindset shift that I incorporated that changed everything for me. But basically, my fitness journey has been less of a journey overall and more like a collection of small spurts of going hardcore for a month here, or doing 2-a-days for 2 weeks here to get ready for blank, or trying this ebook and that ebook and this crash diet and that crash diet, and like trying all these things to try to get results really quick without actually putting in the time, effort, and energy that it takes to create a long-lasting, sustainable change, which is what I'm doing now. I think in the past I would jump on the fitness bandwagon and get really, really hardcore into it and try to do all these really extreme things that were mostly fueled to gain validation and acceptance and love from people outside of myself. And that's another mindset shift that I changed. That's what makes what I'm doing now so different, is that I'm not doing it for anybody else. I'm doing it for me. And I'm not doing it to be skinny. I'm doing it to get strong and to prove to myself that when I make a promise to myself, I'm gonna do it. Creating this lifestyle shift and committing to a fitness routine and showing up when you don't feel like it and listening to your body all really trickles and translates into the rest of your life. And you really start to build this self-trust and self-worth within yourself that just makes you feel empowered and confident and strong and badass and capable of doing all the things that you say you want to do. It's pretty cool. Okay, so how exactly did I go from this to this? If you watched my fall into fitness video, which I have the link down below for you if you want to check that out, that is really the point in time where I decided that I really wanted to make a shift. I really wanted to make a change, and I was fully ready to stop with the excuses. I got tired of my own shit. I was tired of saying, I'll start Monday, I'll start next week. Okay, 2 more days. And I just said, enough is enough. I'm unhappy. This isn't working. I need to make a change. And that was in October. So technically it's really only been 3-ish months since I really feel like the real transformation began. But at the start of 2019, I did start to work out more than not. And it really took me January to October of last year to finally say, okay, I'm all over the place. I need to narrow this down. I need to get serious. I need to really commit, because in January of last year, I started this Project Comeback Challenge, which was going really well. But again, it was like I didn't see the results I wanted in the 3 months, and I kind of gave up. And then it was my birthday and I was like, whatever. And I stopped with what I was doing because it was part of a challenge versus my lifestyle. This is what I do year round, not just to get ready for this. Now this is my life. But anyway, the first thing that I did was I fully committed to myself. And I talk about this a little bit in that Fall into Fitness video, but I really got sick of my own shit, like I said, and I sat down with myself and I had a full-on heart-to-heart with myself about it. And I was like, you gotta just do it. If this is what you want, if you wanna feel good, if you wanna feel strong, if you wanna feel confident, and you wanna make yourself proud, stop with the excuses and do it today. Stop waiting for Monday, stop waiting for the new month, stop waiting for the new year, start today. And so that's the first thing that I did, was I made a very serious commitment to myself. And I think that's a really powerful thing to do. And it sounds not that important, but it is really important. You have to want to do this for yourself, not for your boyfriend or not for the guy that you like, and not for Coachella or your birthday, but for you, to feel healthy and strong and good and confident. The next thing that I did was I took inventory of my current fitness routine. So for me at the time, I was going to Rise Nation here and there and Barry's Boot Camp here and there, and I didn't really have a set schedule. And I actually had a gym membership that I had gotten a few years prior. Really nice gym. At the time, I was like, I'm gonna invest in this expensive, nice gym because that will motivate me to go. I did go for a little bit, but then I stopped going because it was like 15 minutes from my house, and then with traffic, it could be up to 30 or 40 minutes. And parking was kind of difficult. And then started to feel really self-conscious, and I was uncomfortable going, and I would feel really anxious every time before I would go to the gym. Then I had the excuse that I didn't have enough time because of parking and traffic. I had all these excuses and qualms about going. In October, I sat down and I was like, cancel the gym membership. You don't go. You keep making excuses. You don't feel comfortable. You don't know what to do when you get there, so cancel the gym membership. I wanted to find something that had resistance training, weight training, and some light cardio. And I realized that I need to try to kind of get around my excuses. So convenience clearly was a big one, and traffic and time. And I would make excuses about why I couldn't go to the gym. So I'm like, okay, let's find something that's nearby. Let's just like take the guesswork out of it for myself. So I need to find a group class that's within walking distance, that has lots of classes that I like to go to and that I feel good and comfortable going to. And that's how I found Training Mate. I tried a lot of different studios in my area and I found Training Mate. It's walkable, so no traffic, no parking problems. It's a group class. Everything's already there. I just have to show up. It made it so easy for myself. Take the guesswork out of it for yourself. If you find yourself making excuses, take the guesswork out of it for yourself and make it so you literally have no excuse not to go. I don't have any excuse not to go. I can sign up on my phone. I know I'm gonna feel good after. I just have to show up, and that's it. So that really made sticking to a schedule so much easier for myself, is finding a gym nearby that was convenient, that I liked to go to, and that I felt really good going to. And I look forward to going because of that. The other thing that's been incredibly helpful that I didn't plan on, but was an amazing gift from the universe, was getting a workout buddy. In the beginning of my fitness journey, was posting on my Instagram, which I still do, but I was posting on my Instagram about going to Training Mate. And Annie was one of my yoga students that followed me on Instagram. And she replied to one of my stories and was like, oh, I love Training Mate. And I said, hey, come with me sometime. And she started to come with me. And now we go together 4 or 5 times a week. And it's awesome because there are days when, of course, I wake up and I don't feel super motivated to go, but I know because I already signed up, so I'm like, oh, I already committed to going. And then also knowing that Annie's there is a really good motivation for me to get up and go. So find a workout buddy, post on your social media, or once you find the gym that you really like that's nearby your house. Talk to people and make friends and make little workout dates. It's so motivating to have a workout buddy, and it really comes in handy on those days when you don't really feel like showing up. Knowing that you have someone there waiting for you is just a great way to hold yourself accountable and show up anyways. Also, I kind of just touched on this, but scheduling my workouts in advance helped immensely. Sitting down at the beginning of the week, scheduling them out, booking them ahead of time is great, because if I don't book it and I leave up to myself to make the choice at 6:30 a.m. when my alarm's going off, I'm human. I'm most likely gonna be like, nah, snooze, I'm not gonna go. So it's like, schedule and book your workouts in advance. That is so helpful. And I'm gonna piggyback onto that and say prioritizing my workouts changed everything for me. Before, I would have a workout planned and something else would come up and I'd go, okay, I'll just move the workout, or okay, I'll go tomorrow. And it's like, now if something comes up during the time that I'm working out, if I'm not able to easily and feasibly switch my schedule around, it's gonna be a no. That's something that I do, just like sleeping, eating, brushing my teeth, showering, something that I do every day, well, 4 days a week, but it's a non-negotiable. That is something that I do for my health and wellness, and it's important, and I made the commitment, and I'm not available during that time. And also for you mamas and people with lots of responsibilities, I'm not a mom, well, I'm a dog mom, but I know that it comes with a lot of responsibility having a family. But don't feel guilty about this. You deserve this time, and you're gonna be better for your husband, wife, kids, dogs, whoever it is that you're, holding the fort down for. You're gonna be better for them when you're taking care of yourself and you're feeling good physically in your body and feeling good mentally. So don't feel guilty about taking time for yourself, especially since it's generally 45 minutes to an hour. You deserve that. The next thing that really helped me is a mindset shift, changing my goals from trying to get or be skinny to be and feel strong. No judgment if being skinny is what you want to do, but for me, I couldn't be and get skinny in a healthy, sustainable way. And for me, I want to feel good, and I want to feel good for a really long time. My goals changed, and that had to come along with me accepting that my body is going to be a little curvier, the number on the scale is going to be a little higher, and that's okay. The goal is to not be sick and feeling like shit and be skinny. The goal is to be strong, healthy, and fit. I also stopped measuring my progress by the number on the scale. And it's interesting because halfway through this journey, I woke up and I was like, wow, I feel so lean today. And I pulled out my scale and I was the same exact weight. And I was like, what? So I took my shirt off, took my pajama pants off, got back on the scale, still the same. I'm like, huh. And that's when it hit me. I looked really lean, I felt really lean, and I looked and felt strong, but the number on the scale hadn't changed. And it was in that moment that I realized I can't base all my progress off of the number on the scale, because also as a woman, our bodies fluctuate during the month. I do think weighing yourself can be really helpful and beneficial to give yourself a starting off point and to loosely track your progress, but that can't be the only way that you're tracking progress, because I think it can be really discouraging when you're just going off the number, because there's so many different factors that go into it. So for me, not basing my progress off the number on the scale also helped me to stay consistent, because I was really going off of how I felt versus how much I weighed. The other thing I want to say about this is that when I first started this fitness journey in October, I really tried to take on too many changes at once. And I think it's really, really beneficial to pick 1 or 2 things to start with, master those, and then continue to add more shifts to your lifestyle. So in my Fall into Fitness video, I had 5 goals that I wanted to implement, which were train 4 to 5 times a week, try intermittent fasting, take my supplements every day, meditate every day, and go to yoga every day. And the reality is I couldn't do all those things at once, in addition to everything else I had going on in my life. So what ended up happening was I did really well at about 3 things, which were taking my supplements every day, shifting my eating habits and patterns, which I'm not doing intermittent fasting hardcore, but I loosely kind of follow a structure just because I don't really get hungry in the morning. But I was able to do that, as well as train 4 to 5 times a week. So I really ended up focusing on those things October, November, December, and it wasn't until January 1st, just this month, that I felt, okay, I feel like I'm really solid in those 3 things. I'm ready to add on a new thing, which is get on my yoga mat every day. And I've been on my yoga mat every single day this month. So I think it's really important to not overwhelm yourself with too many goals at once, and to pick 1 or 2 things that you can focus on, like I said, master, and then continue to add in. As far as my diet goes, as you probably know, I am plant-based, so my diet is fairly clean as it is. What I've really been focusing on though is the excessive snacking, the late night bored eating. Most of the time when I was eating, I was just eating out of boredom or stress or feeling emotional about something, rather than actually feeling hungry and needing to fuel my body. So I think becoming more mindful about my portions and snacking, and am I really hungry, or is this bored eating? And that really helped me a lot. Also, I'm sure following a loose intermittent fasting plan definitely helped me consume less calories in a day. So rather than, I mean, I've really never been into breakfast though, that's the thing. You can ask my mom. I've never been really the type, it's a rare thing for me to wake up in the morning and be like, oh, I'm starving. And I don't like to eat before I work out either. I get really nauseous. So I typically don't have my first meal until, if I'm doing a protein shake, sometimes I'll have it around 10:30 or 11. Otherwise, on most days, I'm not hungry until noon. I'll have a mushroom coffee in the morning, which is 0 calories, and I do stevia in it, or stevia, however you want to say it. I put that in my mushroom coffee, and that's 0 calories as well. So I don't really consume any calories until noon. And then as far as my last meal goes, I would love to stop eating at 8. That's ideal. Some days I get there. Most days I don't, because there are some days where I teach until late, and sometimes I have a little bit later dinner. So I definitely just started to become more mindful of my calorie intake. I know that that's not super specific, and if you want a more specific diet focused video, leave me a comment below and let me know, and I'll totally make one. Before I get into this Q&A, I just want to hit a few bullet points overall to just drive these tips and mindset shifts home. Basically, how I got from this to this: I worked out more than I didn't. Instead of going overboard for 12 weeks, I've been staying consistent, making this a lifestyle shift. I showed gratitude for my body at every single stage. There was a point in the gym, I think I was probably on my 10th training session, and I remember looking in the mirror and I decided in that moment, I'm not gonna walk in here and hate my body. I'm gonna be grateful that I'm able to move. I'm gonna be grateful for all the things that it does. I'm gonna take responsibility for where I'm at. And I got to where I was at through eating like shit, not taking care of my body, not sleeping enough, and not moving my body frequently enough. And I decided that I would just be grateful and not worry so much about the end result. Before, I was way too focused on the end result. I just said, you know what, I'm gonna enjoy the journey and the process. I'm gonna come in and be excited to move my body and move from a place of gratitude rather than a place of anger or resentment towards myself. Do you know what I mean? I stopped breaking promises to myself, which is a major one. If I said, I'm gonna go to Training Mate Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, then I went to Training Mate Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday. Stop breaking promises to yourself. If you say you're gonna start today, you have to start today. Every single time you break a promise to yourself, it just gets easier and easier to continue breaking promises to yourself. And then when you say you want to do something, you know that it's not going to happen. It's so messed up. Your mindset is everything. And the relationship that you have with yourself is important. And when you make a promise to yourself, you have to keep it. The last thing that really changed the game for me was committing to making this a lifestyle shift instead of a short fitness challenge. Instead of, trying to lose 5 pounds fast, I decided that I just wanted to be strong and feel good, and that I wanted to make this my lifestyle. And don't get me wrong though, I think creating challenges for yourself and setting goals is incredibly powerful. I'm personally very goal driven, and so I'm not suggesting that you not do that, because I still do that. But I think overall, changing my mindset from I'm gonna do this for 3 months and I'm gonna look ripped, it became, I just wanna feel good and feel strong, and I'm committing to a long-term lifestyle shift. The transformations that are the most sustainable, in my experience, are not ones that happen quick. This is a long-term commitment. And I think if you're willing to make a lifestyle shift, then you're bound to have an incredible transformation. So yeah, let's get into these questions. The first question is, how often do I suggest taking progress pictures? I love progress pictures as opposed to tracking your progress by the number on the scale, like I said, because it's not really about how much you weigh solely. It's about how you feel and how strong you feel. I took a few pictures at the beginning of my journey. Then I just took one in January. So I'd say that was about 3 months apart. And I think that that's a good amount of time. For me personally, I really didn't start seeing a transformation in my body until about 3 months in. That's kind of a long time. I think a lot of times, especially because of social media and what I was seeing, I was like, I've worked out for 3 weeks. Why am I not ripped yet? And it's like, because that's not how it works. You have to be consistent and you have to commit to this lifestyle shift for a decent amount of time until you start to really see results. I think that taking progress pictures every 3 months is a really good amount of time. I think that that takes the pressure off of yourself too, from checking in every day and just kind of enjoying the process, and then taking a progress picture in a few months, and then you get to really enjoy the fruits of your labor and see that the hard work that you're putting day in and day out is paying off. The next question is, what workout plans did I follow to achieve this transformation? I go to Training Mate. I go to Training Mate usually 4 times a week. They are 45-minute circuit style training sessions. And I actually have a few videos where I show you examples of what we do in Training Mate. So if you're interested to see typical workouts that I do at Training Mate, links for those videos are down in the description box below. And that'll give you a good idea of the style of training that I'm doing 4 times a week. In addition to Training Mate 4 times a week, since January 1st, I've gotten on my yoga mat every day. And I also hike with my dogs once a week. And I would say that that hike is more so like a brisk walk. One way is uphill, the other way is downhill. And it's usually about 2 miles from my car door back to my car door. And it takes me about 45 minutes. The next question is, what recommendations do you have for people who have weight issues due to mental illness and or anxiety? I totally feel for you. I actually did struggle with depression and anxiety, and that was part of my weight gain and before photo was a result of depression and anxiety. I had a lot of things that I hadn't dealt with and was under a lot of pressure and anxious about. I had just quit a job that I hated and started going off on my own, and it was the first time that I actually had a moment to breathe. Instead of dealing with my sadness and anger and emotions, would eat and lay on the couch. Like, that's literally what I did, and that's what I needed to do at the time to feel okay, right? Most of us are all just doing the best that we can and doing what we know to do to feel better. And even though it wasn't necessarily making me feel better long term, at the time, that's what soothed me. So I'm not, a professional when it comes to mental illness and depression and anxiety, but from my experience, I really had to deal with the depression and the anxiety and work through it. And I touch on this a lot in my 12-week program, the Yoga Inspired Life, but doing the work inside first really allowed me to get to a point where I was ready to make a physical transformation. And also, I will say that through the work that I've been doing to achieve this physical transformation, I've even further transformed myself inside, and it's definitely changed my life entirely. As far as the gym being a no-go area, when I was in the depths of my depression and anxiety, I feel you. I literally could not get myself to go to the gym, or I would go and I would walk on the treadmill in the very back, and I was so anxious. I didn't know what to do. I was so in my head about it. And that's why I ended up just canceling my gym membership, and working out at home wasn't working because I wasn't motivated, and found a gym that all the trainers are so supportive and uplifting and kind and complimentary and loving and friendly. And I knew that I didn't feel comfortable working out alone. I didn't have any motivation working out at home. So I needed to find some place where I felt really supported. And it took me trying out a few different places to really find that in Training Mate. So I feel for you, and be kind to yourself and find community and support. It really does help. Before, I was kind of trying to do everything on my own, work out by myself, deal with all my issues myself, yada, yada, yada. And the thing that really helped me start to feel better, because when you start to move your body and you start to do what you say you're gonna do, you do start to feel really good. But in order to get there, I needed support. And so I found support and community in Training Mate and in Annie, my workout buddy. And once I got going, now I'm feeling the effects of this healthy lifestyle, and it's made me feel really good on so many different levels. So I hope that that helps. If I didn't answer your question properly, just leave me a comment below and I will dive more into it. But I'm sending you all my love. The next question is, how did I first start to implement healthier habits? Get specific and pick just 1 or 2 or max 3 things at a time and focus on implementing those. The other thing I really like to do is, instead of stopping or ending or taking away any bad habits, don't focus so much on that. Focus on adding in new habits. And also, like, tag team your habits. I talk about this a lot in my 12-week program, The Yoga Inspired Life, as well, but tag team your habits and take the guesswork out of it for yourself. So for me, taking my supplements every day. When they were up in my cabinet where I didn't see them, I wouldn't take them. I'd forget about it until I was in my cabinet. I was like, oh yeah, shoot, I haven't taken those for like 3 or 4 days. So for me, I have nighttime supplements that I take and I have daytime supplements that I take. Something that I will never forget to do is drink my mushroom coffee in the morning. So in the cabinet by my mushroom coffee, I have my 2 morning supplements. So when I go in to get my coffee, I'm like, oh yeah, gotta take those supplements. And I pull them out and I put them on my countertop and I take them right then and there. And for my nighttime supplements, instead of keeping them in the kitchen where I wouldn't see them, out of sight, out of mind, I keep them on my bedside table. So when I'm getting into bed and I plug my phone in and they're right there, I have no excuse not to take them. So try to just take the guesswork out of it for yourself. I know I've said that a few times, but I don't know how else to put it. It's like, just make it easy for yourself. Don't overcomplicate it. Foolproof your new habits, so to speak. I actually have a video also about healthy habits that changed my life. I will leave the link to that down in the description box below, but there's definitely some good tips in there that might help you. The next question is, how did you create self-discipline and what changed or clicked for you? There was definitely a moment where something changed and clicked for me, and I think it was the point at which I took full responsibility for feeling like crap, and I got sick of making excuses, and I went long enough where I kept saying, okay, next week, okay, next Monday, okay, next week, okay, next week. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's been a year and I keep saying next week I'll start and I'm not starting, and this is really lame and I'm unhappy and I'm not confident in my body, but I'm the only one to blame. So I think first, like, taking responsibility, really something clicked for me where I was like, I'm in control. I am doing this to myself, which means I can stop doing this to myself and I can make a new choice. And I also think that that also goes hand in hand with, like, creating self-discipline and saying, I'm committing to this. There is no plan B. I'm not putting this off anymore. I'm sick and tired of my own shit. I'm doing this now because I want to feel good and I'm capable of doing this, and I'm going to stop pushing this off and not prioritizing these things. Self-discipline is a habit in itself too. It's a skill. And the more you do it, the easier it gets to stick with it. So in the beginning, implementing all the things that I shared earlier in this video really helped me get the ball rolling. But once you're 3, 4, 5 weeks into it and it starts to become a real habit and routine, your self-discipline muscle starts to get stronger. The next question is in regards to body image, and I've put the question right here. I've definitely struggled, like most humans most likely have, with body image, and I think what it comes down to is shifting your mindset about it. So instead of focusing on the negative, focus on the positive. So instead of feeling insecure or unhappy with having really muscular legs or big thighs or big calves, focus on what your legs can do for you. There are so many people in this world that don't have those limbs or can't use those limbs or can't run or can't walk, and it's so ridiculous for us to hate them for what they are. Like, legs are amazing. Muscular, strong legs are incredible. I totally get wanting to tone up and all of that stuff, and I'm definitely not judging you for that. I've been there. I totally get that. But I think that there are some things that we can change. We can definitely change our body composition through adjusting our diet and our workouts. But I also think along with that needs to come an element of acceptance and gratitude. And for me, there are definitely parts about my body that I've been insecure about throughout my life. And I think that what's really allowed me to find more peace and gratitude with my body is finding acceptance and focusing on the things that that area of my body does for me. I know that sounds really lame, but it's true. The next question is, how did I get the motivation to get started on my fitness journey? And I feel like I kind of touched on this, but I'm gonna touch on it again because it's really pretty simple. I got sick and tired of my own shit. Just being honest. I got really sick and tired of making excuses and saying I'll start the next day and saying I'll start tomorrow. And I think I really got to a place where I was really unhappy and disappointed in myself. I decided that enough was enough and that I wanted to do this. And I kind of put my blinders on and I was like, this is what we're doing. We're not thinking about the six pack, the this, the losing weight, the that. I sat down, made out a plan for myself, scheduled it in, put my blinders on, and I was like, every day I'm just gonna show up and keep doing the thing. I'm gonna take it day by day. And I just started to become more mindful and present. In the morning, waking up, my alarm goes off and I'm laying there and I'm like, this bed is so cozy. These dogs are so cuddly. I wanna stay in bed. And then I literally have to ask myself, how am I gonna feel about skipping my workout later? I'm gonna be disappointed. Ugh, I hate feeling disappointed. That is a shitty feeling. Okay, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna go. And I think that that's what has really helped me start and stick to my fitness journey, is to be more mindful and to check in with myself more often. Ask yourself, like, I know that I wanna lay on the couch right now and do nothing instead of go work out, but is that really what I want? If it is, then go for it. But what I really wanted was to feel strong, fit, and healthy and start my fitness journey. So I would literally ask myself, is this really what I want? And I'd be like, no. I want to be fit and healthy and strong. I'm not going to get there laying on the couch. And then I would get up and go. The next question is about cardio and if I do it, and if I do, how often. And the answer is yes and no. I definitely do have cardio in my workouts. If you watch those Training Mate workout videos, then you can kind of see the style of workouts that we do. But I don't have designated cardio days. The only real designated cardio that I do is when I do my hikes, and it's low impact steady state cardio. Like I said, it's like a brisk walk for 45 minutes. Other than that, we do a little bit of cardio at Training Mate, but there's no running on the treadmill. It's usually either the ski erg or the rowing machine or the assault bikes. Sometimes they do have us do short sprints on the track, but will say though that the workouts that I do at Training Mate definitely do get my heart rate up, and so it is a form of cardio. But doing designated cardio, no, I haven't been doing that. The next question is about my workout schedule. Basically, my workout schedule October, November, and December was yoga sporadically throughout the week. I'd say I probably would make it on my mat about 3 to 4 times a week. And then as far as training, I would go to Training Mate 4 to 5 times a week. As of January 1st, my workout schedule is as follows. I go to Training Mate Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday morning. I go to yoga every single day, and I go hiking once a week. As far as my workout schedule goes, on Monday, it's an upper body day. And then on Tuesdays, it's a lower body day. Wednesdays are full body. And then Saturday mornings is again another full body session. The next question is, how did you find a routine that you love and kept you motivated? I had to try a bunch of different stuff out. That's how I had to do it. And once I found Training Mate, I really felt like it just ticked off a lot of the boxes that were otherwise filled with my excuses. I was only really able to find that gym by trying out a bunch of the different gyms in my area. I think that a lot of us, myself at one point included, were looking to try one place, let it be the one. Work out for a week, get ripped. Do all these things really fast. We live in this day and age where we are just obsessed with instant gratification. And the thing is that that's not how this works. The first gym you try may not be the one that you love and want to stay at. The first month of your fitness journey might not yield any results, and that's okay. Like, you have to give it some time, and you have to put in a little bit of effort and energy to find a routine that works for you. The other thing I'll say is that don't be afraid to make adjustments. During the summer months, I noticed it's easier for me to wake up at 6 and go work out by 7. And I was kind of trying to really hold on to that 7 a.m. workout time because I felt like it meant something to me in a weird way. But I was really freaking tired, and it's dark out at that time. And I have a new puppy, and I have new responsibilities first thing in the morning. And working out at 7 a.m. wasn't working for me anymore. So I had to readjust and say, you know what? During winter months, when it's dark until 7 a.m., I'm not gonna go work out at 7 a.m. I don't wanna walk the dogs in the dark in the morning. I wanna go at 8 a.m. So I think get out there, experience some different places, explore different workout styles, find a community that makes you feel really supported and uplifted, and then also just keep it honest. Stay honest with yourself. If you start at one place and then you stop going and it's not working, don't be afraid to readjust. That's totally okay. It's not meant to be this like one way is the only way and we have to stick with this forever because we said we were gonna do it. No, there's gonna be ebbs and flows, and you have to know better when something's not working that you need to make a different choice and be totally okay with that. I also think just like coming up with a schedule that's truly sustainable for you is gonna help you in the long run. As an example, I would love to have this like perfectly scheduled out week of workouts where I work out Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, but it's like it doesn't work with my schedule because I shoot on Friday mornings. And by Thursday, I am really sore from the few workouts that I've already done that week. And I like to have Sundays off. And so it's like, for me, working out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday kind of seems off because you're like, oh, interesting. Like it's not your typical workout schedule that you might see on Instagram, but that's what works for me. So I think taking a look at your work schedule or your other obligations and finding where you can commit to having a standing appointment with yourself and putting those workouts in spots in your week that you can stick to every single week is going to help you create a routine. The next question is this mostly from diet, yoga, or do you spend hours in a gym as well? And the truth of the matter is that it's a little bit of all three, really. I definitely made some shifts to my diet, like I mentioned before. As of January, I started getting on my mat every day, but I think the biggest shift was committing to working out 4 times a week. I don't spend hours upon hours upon hours in the gym each week. Technically, between the 4 training sessions that I go to, I spend about 3 hours and 15 minutes a week in the gym. It's really not that much, but I think it's a matter of the consistency over time and definitely the diet shifts. And so yeah, I think majority of this transformation is a result of those things. It wasn't really until January 1st that I started to get on my mat every day. Creating healthy habits or implementing a new lifestyle or shifting your routines, it takes time and it takes effort and energy and work. It's not an overnight thing. This transformation that I've made so far is not overnight. It really started in January of last year, and it really took me from January until October to really get serious and figure out what worked for me and what felt good. And since October, I've been able to really consistently show up for myself on my fitness journey, but it really took time. It took me nearly 9 months of trying different workouts, trying different workout styles, trying different studios, trying to make a plan and then not sticking to it, trying all these different things before I really figured out and decided and realized, okay, I like training mate. Okay, I need to sign up for classes ahead of time. Great. I'm eating too big of portion sizes, or I'm eating out too much, or I'm snacking late at night when I'm not hungry. It took me all last year of becoming much more mindful of all the things I was doing in order for me to come to the conclusion / realization of the schedule or routine that I'm on now. So it definitely takes time, and I know it can seem like from Instagram like things just happen overnight, but a lot of time and energy goes into, or at least mine went into my transformation. I really had to work hard at it. Just keep that in mind when you're on your fitness journey, and know that it's much more fun if you just decide to have fun with it and not worry so much about the transformation itself. Whew, that was a long one. If you're still sticking with me, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that my honesty helps you and inspires you. If there's something that I didn't cover or something that you want me to talk more about, please feel free to leave me a comment below. I'll totally go into detail. If there's something that I missed or didn't cover thoroughly enough, just let me know. Otherwise, make sure you're subscribed because I upload 2 new videos every single week. You can follow me on Instagram for all the good stuff on the daily. It's at Shayla Quinn. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.